Thank you, Sam. My name is Tom Woolman. I'm the Lincoln County State's Attorney. This morning, my office filed a criminal complaint against an individual by the name of Matthew Jock, J-O-C-K. The complaint alleges 5 counts of possession of child pornography. The complaint originates from an investigation that was conducted by the South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation, ICAC unit. The ICAC unit here in South Dakota received a cyber tip from the from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That tip led them to Mr. Jock and his residence in southern Sioux Falls, Lincoln County. Ultimately, he was arrested yesterday afternoon without incident. These 5 charges are each Class 4 felonies, punishable by up to 10 years in the penitentiary for each of the counts, and or a $20,000 fine for each of the counts. The investigation was again conducted by the South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation, the Internet Crimes Against Children Division. Mr. Jock will be making an appearance in front of a circuit court judge in Lincoln County this morning via ITV from the Minnehaha County Jail. Judge Rachel Rasmussen will be addressing bond, and future court dates will be given at that point in time. As I said, the bond has not been yet addressed, nor are the future court dates addressed. The defendant is presumed to be innocent of these charges until such time as he enters a change of plea and or is convicted at trial. The individual, Mr. Jock, is a former Sioux Falls police officer, and to address those concerns today with me are the Honorable Mayor Paul Tenhaken and Chief Toom of the Sioux Falls Police Department. The arrest yesterday afternoon was a probable cause arrest, and because of that, there's not an affidavit on file for this particular investigation. I will be able to answer some very limited questions if anyone has any, either prior to the comments by the chief and the mayor or now. Thank you.
Again, Chief Toom, Sioux Falls Police Department, reiterating one fact is that, again, with the ongoing investigation in respect to those, won't be answering questions in regards to that investigation today. However, it is important to note a few things. Again, that he is no longer employed by the Sioux Falls Police Department, and that is clear. Again, I want to publicly thank DCI for their work and the Lincoln County State's Attorney's Office for the work they're doing right now. Again, top-notch investigation, and we cooperated every bit along the way as they went through their investigation. Again, in regards to these allegations with Mr. Jock, I first must say I'm upset and troubled, like many in our building, in our organization, and many in the community. While these are actions committed by an individual, they're a violation of trust and have done damage to this community and this department, and that can't be taken lightly. To whom much trust is given, much is expected, and these clearly aren't actions that reflect that trust. The actions of Mr. Jock and Mr. Schauer before have given our organization a black eye, and we can't hide from that. We cannot take that lightly at all. We will not let their actions overshadow the great work we have done in the community. We will redouble our efforts to be the outstanding law enforcement agency that I know we are. In law enforcement, we are constantly evaluating everything we do as far as policies and procedures and looking for ways to make them better. We will continue to evaluate our personnel, procedures, and policies and how we handle issues of this nature. As mentioned previously, we have safeguards in place to protect against this, but obviously we always need to be working for better solutions and evaluating how we do things to make sure we have everything in the right place to make sure we have as many protections as possible. The message is clear, is that law enforcement works. Law enforcement holds people accountable, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you choose to engage in these activities, you will have to pay the consequence. We will continue to hold people accountable for their actions regardless of their position, and there's no room for this within our organization or any organization within our community. Again, we do not take this lightly. We understand the impact this has in the community in this department, and we will always be working to build trust and improve our position and make sure that we have the trust of the community, and that's paramount importance to us. Thank you.
Good morning. I want to start by thanking Sioux Falls Police Department, Lincoln County State's Attorney's Office, Tom Woolman, our federal agency partners, for the work they have done on this issue. Public safety is a team effort, and we have some of the best partners working on our behalf for the residents, so thank you to them. You know, I'm deeply troubled and quite honestly angry to learn that the allegations involving former Sioux Falls police officer Matthew Jack. The city has been and will continue to cooperate fully with DCI in order to allow justice to be done in this manner. Even as we are now carefully reviewing our internal policies and practices, I stand shoulder to shoulder with the honorable men and women of Sioux Falls PD who day in and day out, they protect our community and they do it in an incredible manner. You know, humans are flawed, and to do the work that we have to do, we have to hire humans. And that causes an inevitable tension and an intersection between their status as an employee and their status as a flawed human. And so please know that we will not let the actions of the few tarnish the work of the many in this department. And my hope is that the community as a whole will feel this way as well. So I remain confident in our justice system, even as these individual issues have surfaced. I fully support the amazing law enforcement officers of the Sioux Falls PD. My office in this department will not rest in our ongoing efforts to earn the trust of the community, and we will never, ever take that trust for granted. And in closing, and also to ensure the integrity of this ongoing investigation, I won't be commenting further on this matter at this time. Thank you.
Can I ask Tom a question?
Yeah, sure.
I also note present with me today is the Director of the Division of Criminal Investigation. Again, this is an independent investigation by the division, and in particular the ICAC unit, or the Internet Crimes Against Children unit.
So
Go ahead.
I understood you said it was a probable cause arrest and there was no affidavit, but there was an affidavit on file for Jock. Would you be able to answer questions regarding that affidavit, or would?
Okay, so there was one filed along with the, okay. I wasn't sure if that would be sealed as a report or as an affidavit. So I could answer some very general questions about that affidavit.
Okay, so I guess in the affidavit it mentioned that he distributed some of those media files possibly depicting child pornography to at least one other account, possibly more. Are there going to be any arrests made or charges filed against other people?
At this point, it's an ongoing investigation, and I mean, I don't know that I'm in a position to answer that accurately. We'll continue on with the information that was obtained yesterday pursuant to a warrant and see where that leads us.
Nobody else?
The affidavit says it appears that the video files depicting child porn were distributed from Jock's residence in Lincoln County. Is there any indication that pictures were taken at his residence?
At this point, again, it's a preliminary investigation. With that being said, there's no information that leads us to believe at this point in time that there are any local victims.
Is there any investigation of any other officer? Could there be more officers involved in this?
No information at this point that would lead us to believe that. Again, an ongoing investigation.
There's no information that any other police officers within the department of Sioux Falls were involved in this?
That's correct.
Okay.
I mean, as it stands, given this ongoing investigation.
I was hoping to ask the chief this. I assume Mr. Jock was fired right after this came to light,
He would have to speak to that. I don't know the circumstances of that separation.
I saw two search warrants were issued, one in Lincoln County, one in Minnehaha County. Was he working in Minnehaha County when that search warrant was issued to him?
I don't know where the defendant was when the search warrants were executed. We have no indication that he was on duty while any of these acts transpired.
Were his phone or computers, anything like that, taken during the search warrant?
I haven't reviewed the inventory from that search warrant yet, so I'm not aware exactly of what was seized.
And so far, just at least 5 media files possibly containing child porn were found, correct?
Those are the allegations in our complaint, yes.
could there be more?
I'm not in a position to speculate about that, an ongoing investigation. Okay, thank you. I apologize, I do have a copy of the criminal complaint that I'll leave on the table here. It is Lincoln County CRI 22-176.
I really don't have anything on the log, nothing big, but if you guys have any questions about that, I could answer them, but nothing. Okay, thanks.